Escape Engineers Inspector Summary Video. Inspector Maness here, and we're looking at a fire escape here in Manhattan that is about 6 stories. We have several issues here. This building is probably late 1800s, 1890, 1900s, as told to me by the current owner. And what we have is an existing fire escape, original to the building, lots of original hardware, cantilever is currently not balanced. It's balanced backwards because when you look at the release arm down there, the release arm, which is hard to see from here, is basically holding it from coming back or letting it drop. These cantilevers must drop 2 to 3 feet per second, hit the ground and stay down. From photographs, which I'll show down below, it's out of balance, and the channel on both sides is eaten away. It's all rotted. It's been sistered, but it's all rotted, so that's not in very good repair. A lot of rust in all the treads and all the connections. All right, what we're trying to do here is identify whether this fire escape is ready to be load tested or can this be certified in the as-is condition. But there's just too much evidence of rust everywhere. In the treads, there's rust. Original hardware that's 75 to 100 years old. The only way to guarantee this is to give it a load test, and it's not ready for a load test. Too much rust in every connection. A lot of spalling, a lot of pops, a lot of rust build up between, a lot of rust in here. Some evidence of some maintenance, but all minor. All the rust is still here. Original hardware, new maintenance, but you know, the rust stayed behind. See? Look at all that. All the rust is still here. Again, it's a 100-year-old fire escape. A lot of major rust right there. See that? Look at that major rust right there. And the other thing too is, looks like these supports have all been sistered. This one, that one, and this entire floor has sistered supports back into the building, because it looks like they rotted out into the building and then they sistered it. But the sistered piece, it can't be identified how it's attached. It looks like it's just welded. And again, all welds must be x-rayed or load tested. So this entire floor here is suspect until such time that how it's attached into the building is determined, either through load test or verification. This release arm, once you release it, that'll let you drop 2 to 3 feet per second and hit the ground and stay down. They have been keeping it painted. The paint is an issue. Anything older than 1978 has lead. So whoever's going to touch this must have a renovator's license to deal with EPA requirements regarding lead removal. You're not removing the lead, but you have to control all the chipping of the lead. All the rust buildup, huge rust buildup. You know, bolts are missing, heads are missing, quite a bit on this fire escape due to age. You know, major spalling back into the building. At this bracket, I'm trying to find evidence that this bracket is bolted inside. I can't see it, no through bolt. Spalling, I mean, the cement is gone. A lot of sandwiching of rust and rust jacking and ice jacking. You can see here where the old piece ate away, this whole piece, and then they sistered it with something, but it doesn't show how they got it in there. And it's welded, it's not bolted, because these welds will rot out eventually and pop. So let's go back up. Rust inside the connections, this is typical. Rust accumulates from above, goes in, see all that rust, and then it breaks the bolt. You got some evidence that some of these treads have broken and they've replaced a few bolts here and there. A lot of major rust in a lot of the joints, typical of a fire escape. Major. Put my finger through there. Major. Okay. Take a walk up. A lot of the nuts, original. No evidence of maintenance. Tie backs, original. Rust from the top, see all the rust inside the connection. And a lot of these treads will pop, these slats will pop, or the clip will fall, injuring people. Spalling. See all this cracks? See all the cracks? That one over there is totally spalled out, see it? Right there. So a load test will verify all these, that they're still permanently attached into the building, or to avoid load test, 5 inches away, new epoxy bolt, either with a through bolt all the way inside, or you have the, you can do an epoxy bolt, he'll be an anchor here. Just doing a fire escape inspection.
What?
Fire escape inspection.
Oh, okay.
That way you can come out safely in the future. All right, so here's all the original connections. You can see a little bit of deterioration in a lot of the metal, so we have to make sure that that gets cleaned, rebolted accordingly. Sandwiching, a lot of this is typical. Again, evidence throughout the whole fire escape that she's pulling away from the building. Slight dip. Most of these are doors with a window to every floor. The door works, as proven by one of the tenants here. So we got to make sure that we're tying back. This is pulling away, that's falling away, as you can see. So the verification process is to verify that it's tied properly in the building. A load test will give you that, or you'll leave those alone and you put in new connections into the building to avoid the need of a load test. Okay, typical again, rust buildup, corners are shot, original hardware, this is original square head bolts, rivets, so that tells you the age. Okay, rust buildup in the treads. Some of these treads have given way and they've come in and changed a few bolts. It's already pulling out of the building there. Again, the fact that they've been keeping this thing painted has helped this fire escape not be so rotted. But the rivets here must be verified. The rivet in the back must be verified through a load test. Or if I put a gusset here, the new bolts will eliminate the need for me to either change or replace this rivet. Same thing in the back. I put a little gusset here. Keep that original gusset. I eliminate the need for verifying that rivet. And I can put the epoxy bolt or the through bolt 5 inches away, mechanically fasten it back to this. That way I can leave the existing connection alone, seal it from future intrusion, but my new connection is what eliminates the need for a load test and the liability. Otherwise, any repair done by this, any engineer or any architect signing off on this is signing an opinion letter with all the liability back to the owner. Because you can't guarantee this 100-year-old structure without a full refurbishment or spot refurbishment and a load test. But as you can see, quite a bit of rust everywhere and anywhere. But the paint did help. We recommend that this line be extended on the right, similar to the right, so you don't fall through. And we recommend that if there's children living in this building, minimally another 3 lines of, in case you pass out, you will fall through this. Again, it's a pre-existing condition, but improvements can be made to reduce the liability. Okay, let's go up one more floor. And as you can see here, there's been a change. This is a tread that fell. Here's some new bolts. There are hex heads right there. So the rust grew in there. Popped this tread, somebody fell, and they popped. But there's rust on the one above. And there's rust on the one above. Cement's falling in certain areas, and this is a granite. I don't know if this is just a fascia, but it looks like a granite, or I don't think it's marble. It looks like a granite facade. Okay, going up, as you can see, this needs to be load tested. But if you gusset it here, put a couple of bolts here, a couple of bolts here, you basically don't need to load test it because you've eliminated the need. So we're on the top floor here. A lot of rust buildup in all the corners, typical. Pulling away from the building and spalling. Typical doors to get in. Ladders. Sandwiched with rust build. So all these bolts. So the original hardware here, you have a choice. Spot repair this whole fire escape and then load test it for adequacy so we can get the guarantees to everybody. Or refurbish 100% of all the major structural not the minor structural, major structural. So major structural, minor structural. Anything that's a minor connection will stay. We just need to verify it. So these pickets, I just need to verify them. I don't need to replace these bolts. But the major corners, major posts, major supports, major flats, tie backs into the building, including this ladder to the roof for the firemen. Must be verified up on the roof. Okay, for the firemen. And again, some evidence of maintenance, but literally less than 5%, less than that, do I see in any work. Obviously, what I do see here is missing bolts, missing heads, missing nuts everywhere, because it's 100 years old. And so the minimum activity has been made. Been kept painted though, still paint on it now. So, any questions? Fire escape engineer's inspector summary video. This is Inspector Meneses. Let me show you how we get into here. Single action requiring no special knowledge. And there's a stair feeding the fire escape from here. Okay, any questions? 866-649-0333.